Oh, happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. It's Finney here from Finney's Homebrew Emporium, the larger emporium. And it's been ages since I've done one of these, so my apologies. I've been super busy with the shop. We get a lot more walk-ins now, so it's much harder to do the videos and get down to brewing, but I have been brewing. I'm just doing the specialty brew for what are we in? February, March. So in March we got plums, Doris plums. So in here you can see we have plums. So there's 2 kg in there, and I've got I put them in with a Camden tablet just to kill off any sort of yeast. I did that yesterday because I'm going to make fruit mead with them. So I've got my is in here at the moment, just in some hot water, so it's getting liquid, and then I've got a new fermenter that's like I'll show you later when it's all put back together, but I'm just cleaning that off at the moment, sanitizing that, and giving it a good sort of wash with sodium carbonate, just to make sure it's all, all the bits and bobs are cleaned off it. So last month at our specialty brew we had Mountain Dew. So this is the beer from that one. So I did a mash. I did a saison. So I did the mash and set the mash. Drain that off. Instead of using any sparge water, I just dumped in a load of Mountain Dew. So I think in a 5-gallon batch there was 4.5 litres of Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew has an original gravity of 1048, so it's quite sugary. So as you can see from the top of the fermenter, it went nuts the first night. Went nuts, like blew out the top. But then, like after that, it's just taken ages and ages to sort of ferment out, which is possibly the caffeine and the preservatives and everything that's in the Mountain Dew. So maybe the yeast are on a bit of a come down. But that's just about ready. I'll bottle that probably end of this week. And then what else we got? Oh, bubbling in here is a ginger beer. This is just a kit brew. My wife made the other day, but bubbling away. There it goes. So it's just the Mangrove Jack's traditional pilsner. We had one that didn't have a yeast, so we just kept it, and then we'll put it on the kegerator here. But we used the dry Belgian yeast that they've got to do that. So that was cool. And so that's bubbling away nicely. In the corner behind me, you can see I've got this lovely cover for my carboy. It's made of blackout lining, thanks to my wife. And underneath it, somewhere, is a Belgian triple. So I did a Belgian pale ale about 4 weeks ago, and kept the yeast cake from that, and then brewed up a triple a couple of weeks ago. So put that yeast back onto that, and then what did I do? Oh, I did some Belgian candy after about 4 or 5 days. So yeah, it's been chugging along nicely. So hopefully that will come out nice. The pale ale came out nice. It was I was using the Northeastern Abbey strain from the Yeast Bay, and it's great. A real nice blend of those Belgian aromatics. So hopefully that one turns out just as well. So I'll crack on with this, and hopefully I'll take some more footage, and then hopefully upload it, and you'll get to watch it for once. Alright, so in a minute. Alright, so we've got along the process, and I have my plums in there with the first amount of honey. Now it doesn't seem to be at the gravity I want, but luckily I do have some extra honey, so I can add another kg and bring that up, so that's fine. But I'm just trying to rehydrate my yeast, and I don't know if you can see in the bottom there. Move it around a bit. You can see it's not really hydrating very well, which is annoying. So I don't know if the yeast is dead, or if it's just taking its sweet time to carry on. It's well within date. The packet was it expires December this year, so that shouldn't be a problem. But we'll give it a while and see what happens. when I first put the stuff into the fermenter here, I hadn't tightened the nut on the inside well enough, so it started dribbling out. So I had to like decant it back out into the jugs and stuff. But I guess it aerated it again nicely. So once I get these yeast sorted, yeah, I don't know at the moment. We'll keep an eye on it. But in the meantime, I just need to weigh out a kg of this other honey and get it in there. Alright, a minute. So I went with the unscientific method of scooping and just bit it in. Let's put the lid on, protect it. But my method worked, so we're now up to 1105, so that's good. I'm quite happy with where that is. So the yeast is also, well, I don't know if you can see again, but when I move it around, the bits are getting a bit smaller, so I think it's slowly hydrating. I've never used this yeast before, so it may be just characteristic of these, I don't know, but it's getting there. So I think a lot of it is now, you know, more in suspension, so I'll get that pitched, and then yeah, we'll carry on. So the idea is we've got 8 litres in here, so by the time these this is all condensed down, hopefully it'll all fit into a carboy right to the top, and when we can age it and, you know, settle it out and all the rest of it. This fermenter is a bit different to most. It's got, like, it's not got an airlock, it's got this contraption on top, which on the underside, like behind that nut, if you stop getting, there we go, this is a nut, and then there's a washer, and there's actually like a carbon filter on there. It's for spirits, this thing, but so it could be a slightly open ferment, but make it more interesting. But once we get to the business end, we'll have it into the other thing and have a proper airlock on it. So I'll carry on with this, clean up, and then we'll have a chat about what's going on. Right, yeah, so the mead's, well, melomel is down, and hopefully that goes off alright. It looks great, it smells really good too. If it smells as good when it's finished as it is now, then that'll be rather nice. So I'm just going to crack open. This is an American Amber, which is one of our partial mash kits, and hopefully it tastes good. It's the first time I've tried this actually. This is one of my customers dropped it off, so I could have a taste of it. So, definitely amber. The hops in it are Mosaic and Centennial, so 2 nice grunty American hops. Smells good. Not bad, even if I do say so myself. Cool, so yeah, like I said at the start of the video, it's been a while since I've done one of these. It's just been, like, I mean, you saw from the videos that I posted up just around Christmas or just after, we moved into this larger shop, and it's been pretty busy since. Lots of people come through the door, just, you know, so many more people finding the shop, and so it's been pretty full on. It's been good, you know, let's stop. You know, sales have gone up and all the rest of it, which is good. I'm trying to look at getting the online shop sorted over the next couple of months, be the next sort of big thing we do, and try and increase the equipment side of things, so we've got a bit more, you know, cover the sort of whole range of what people need. But yeah, it's going well. The great thing about being down here is that I've been able to do some demonstrations. Now, I've already done an all grain one on the grain powder, and I've done a partial mash one the other week. You know, partial mash, trying to get you know, people to make that first step away, and both had pretty good turnout. A good 10 people sort of standing around, seeing what I get up to and how I brew and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's good. I think eventually we'll have some evening classes, and we'll crack on, and hopefully improve, you know, beer in the city that one bit more, which would be good. It'd be good. So well, I guess I can't remember what I did last time, but things happening around the shop. We've got I'm running the Great Kiwi Beer Festival competition again this year. So it'll be the second year it's been ran. Last year, my friend Ollie won it with his Ice Bock. So this year, who knows? We've got 50 entries already. Entries close at the end of this week, which is the 6th of March, and then people to drop them off, up until the Saturday after. So yeah, we're going to have the tasting at the judging at Harrington's in Belfast. Now it was due to be Riccarton, but they're just about sold that bar. So things are changing quickly for them. They're ducking out of the retailing side of things and focusing more on the beer and the production. So I don't know what's going to happen to their bars, but we've got the Belfast one. They're definitely not going to have sold that before the time, so that's cool. It's a great competition. This year we've got over $2,000 of prizes up for grabs, which is awesome. It's really cool that the suppliers come to the party. We've got Grainfather have given us a Grainfather unit, which is immense, $1,000 unit. We've got stainless steel fermenters from Mangrove Jacks. We've got malt from Cryer, the distributor of the foreign malts over here. We've got malt from Gladfield as well. Voucher from myself. We've got Craftology vouchers, casino vouchers, and Spiegelau glass sets, and t-shirts, and depending on how many entries we get, any extra beer, extra money, we'll chuck into doing spot prizes and stuff. And, even if you're entering, you've got a chance of winning something. So it's definitely worth entering. So yeah, look at our website for details on that. What else? I guess 2014. I probably haven't done a review of that. It was cool. It was a great year. The shop, kicked on again. So that's been enjoyable. Started working in a brewery. That's been pretty cool. Seeing the different beers that come through there. We're a contract brewery, so we get to try, see different companies' beers all the time, which is nice. And my own home brewing certainly, took a step forward. I focused a lot more on yeast and yeast health last year, and it seems to be showing. When I'm tasting my own beers, I'm tasting a lot less sort of off flavors, which is nice. And then towards the back end of last year, started focusing on the malt, the water profile, and that seems to be coming along as well. So my last IPA, whilst it finished at 1020, which was quite high, it doesn't taste sweet. The water profile is I went for quite a heavy sulfide chloride ratio, and it seems it's got a nice finish. It was supposed to be like a dry West Coast red IPA, and just using that Shepherd's Delight and the own malt. The Shepherd's Delight doesn't add any sweets, so it's nice. It sort of just dries it out. So that's good. We'll chuck it in the Great Kiwi, see what sort of feedback we get from that as well. Whilst I can't win any prizes because I'm running it, it's just nice to get some judging notes back in a competition. And of course last year it was the first time I joined in on the SJ Pour challenge, and so I'm looking forward to this year's. I've got a few ideas, and it's I like the idea of this year's. The setup is pretty good, and whether we may end up being a hub here in the shop. I don't know if Paul has got around to logistics or stomach, but we sort of half mentioned it last year, and the north-south sort of split. But we'll see. If you need that, Paul, just let me know. We've got a chiller here in the back. The florist allows me to use it, so possibly able to do that as well. And yeah, the SJ Pour is great. All these guys doing all this for no returns. Super effort, and look forward to sponsoring it again this year, and participating. Try and nudge into that top 3. I missed out by one place last year. I had 3 of those. We had some people in New Zealand just low scoring, no notes, and I had 3 of those that sort of bumped my score down quite a lot. So little buggers. But conversely, I also had some brilliant scores, and with some nice notes from people asking for recipes and giving me really good, nice feedback. So you balance them out eventually. So it's good. Yeah. And moving into this year, yeah, I guess the main thing I'm going to focus on is probably nailing a few recipes and trying to come up, with some stables to put in the keg fridge rather than creating all these different beers every time. Although I say that and I'm still probably not. I think I'm 2 months into we're into March now and I'm still sort of focused on that. Hang on. It's the beauty of having a sliding door. The sensor goes off any people walking past when they're not actually coming in the shop. Yeah, and hopefully this year I'll certainly try and get round to sending some beers out. Thanks Paul and Grant for the beers you sent just before Christmas. I'll be sending a care package up soon. I just need to figure out what I'm going to send you. But I've been waiting to brew because I was supposed to be moving house, but then so I ran down my beer stocks. But then I haven't really got back to brewing since. But I've got that triple. I'll probably once I've bottled that, I've got the Belgian Pale Ale, maybe a few other bits. So I'll send a care package, yeah, we'll see what I can send you. But anyway, hopefully I'll get back on to making the videos a bit more often. If it's not every week, maybe once every other week at least. And you can keep up with what I'm doing here in the shop and what I'm making, and see how we go over this next 6 months, and see how the beers go. And I think this year I'll also try and focus a bit more on the NHC. Whilst I can't win any of the prizes and stuff, it's really, in a New Zealand sense, it's the best way to benchmark your beers. It's always good hard judging, but fair. And if you're doing well in that comp, then you're doing well. So cheers to everyone. Enjoy your beers and what you're doing, and keep in touch. Subscribe, and that's the other thing. For those that read the BYO magazine, you might have a look at the last call the last call article on the last edition, the March edition, and you'll see my ugly mug, and a little story of the background of where I came from and how I got into brewing. I was lucky enough to be asked to write the article, so it's cool. See himself out there in a international magazine, I suppose. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'll try and catch up on everybody else's videos, but for now, cheers, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.